Is that all set for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, we had a talk at one of our last Zoom meetings about the possibility of a die crack that was in the 1925 metal, and not too many people knew about it and asked me if I would work on it. So here's a little bit of an effort. And just to give a little bit of backup, you can see in the upper picture, the die crack itself, that's fully developed in the 1925. And then you can see on the reverse where it actually shows at about 11 o'clock on the metal. There's other die cracks too that have shown up. Jane Hankins die crack goes from the, again, about the 11:30, 12 o'clock area down to her glasses. You can see that at the left. And so we aren't talking about something that's a one-time occurrence. I'll start with the 1924. This is prior to the 1925 crack, as far as I can determine. I don't know if the crack actually started in the late strikings of the 24 and then came in, or they actually started early in the 20s. I haven't found any of the 25s that were not cracked in what I've looked at. So maybe we should take a survey of those and take a pretty good look. But that's the area. It's in the VERS area of anniversary on the reverse of the die. Here you can see the crack itself, and you'll see it's on Horner. There's a crack on the 26th, how it stayed, and it's on every piece I've ever seen on 1926. So we know that it propagated all the way through in 25 and went through 26. 27, you can see the area, and this one was a very rudimentary repair. You can see the crack a little bit. You'll see more in later slides of how it was repaired. 28, it was repaired also. So evidently it was changing all the way through striking on each one of these. And it must have been a horrific time to repair that die all this time through the striking process. 29, it gets absolutely horrible, and you'll see some more cases later on in the presentation. Now you see at 30, it's an absolutely new reverse die, and there's no hints of the crack at all. The white background versus the black backgrounds on these, there were all Woodbury Strong metal collection. I purchased that at auction a few years back. So I have from the French through Caddy from the Woodbury collection. So again, look at the 1924. You'll see both the black background and the white, and a little area of the background for the black I put in there for seeing the area. This one's interesting because this is the actual crack. You'll see the very start of the crack here between the point of the E and the point of the R. I think I can see a little bit of a crack out this way, but that's all of it is up in the upper left-hand corner. Now, up in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little bit more of the crack propagating from the E, the V from the R to the point of the E, and a little bit from the R out. Then you see a later stage of it where that crack is heavy, right straight through the letters, and it's the same at this point all through the 1926s as well. This is the only one that fools me a little bit. The crack looks like it was worked on for some reason, but all the other ones are the exact same thing throughout the whole thing. I wish we had these numbered like we did on the early metals, because then we could tell exactly what stage it was during what time of the strike. 1927, you're going to see, here's a repaired area. That's a different repair here. There's a different repair there, from there. And this area is the same as what it is up here. And you'll see here another one that is a very light crack and the repair. So there had to have been a lot of work being done on this during the striking time itself. 28, you'll see a little bit more. This area versus this area, you can see that something has changed. You'll see the marking here between the E and the R is changed. 29, this is where it becomes real interesting. You'll see how the dye must have just started disintegrating in this area. You'll see huge chunks coming out here and going over. When we look at the whole reverse, you'll see all the way around the rim that they were having problems. It even looks like here the A was restamped during part of it. You can see part of the shadow in the back, going all the way over to the 2 or 3 o'clock position on the reverse as well. And 30, there's absolutely none. I've never seen one with a crack on it. So I'm pretty sure that the dye had destroyed itself and a new dye was made for 1930. Now, in looking at this, I've gotten the Woodbury, that's the one in the white, and all the ones that I had, I put in black background. And I noticed something up here on the forehead. I couldn't figure out what it was. It's not showing up on any of the other metals. So I got a little bit closer and looked at it, and I said, almost looks like lettering. And then I said, that's strange. And because they're all reverse and it's upside down. And so I did a little bit of fooling around with it, and it's actually, I think, an S, a T, and an E. Mm-hmm. Could that be something from Rochester that struck that and left its image on it, or something else with an SET on it? I thought about Steve Eisinger, but his middle initial is H, so I wasn't him taking the die punch to it. But I thought that was pretty strange when I saw that. Mm-hmm. Any questions going back? Do you want me to go back and look at any one of the metals? And
yeah,
go ahead.
The 1928 one, it looked like on the obverse you could see a little crack up in the 11 o'clock or so.
28.
On the A there, on the Parker. You know, I don't know if that corresponds to the back also or not.
It's a metal flip, so it would probably be, let's see, if it's a metal flip, I think it would be down in the lower, around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because it's not a coin flip.
Okay.
Oh.
On the right-hand side.
It would be on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chip, I just took a look at my 25.
Yeah.
And it must be a very early dye state, because it doesn't look, and if when we're done with this, I can share my screen and show you the picture of it. Mine doesn't look cracked at all.
That adds a lot to it. Then we know it did happen in 25.
Yeah, when you're done sharing your screen, I'll share mine and I'll show you. I've got a pretty good picture of it.
Okay. That mark may be on the airtight holder too, on the A.
On this one, gentlemen, I have it in my hand and I don't see it.
Wow, okay. That's news.
Thanks, Chip.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Did you want this, John, to put up on the website or anything?
I'm recording it.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions before I stop sharing the screen? All right, thank you.
All right, here, Chip, when you're done sharing, I'll put mine up. You can take a look at it.
I was wanting everybody's attention up there with my back. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
I don't see a crack there.
Doesn't look like one at all.
Yeah. So
What year is that one, Scott?
that's a 25.
Okay. Must have been
So
early
there
spike.
should have been the upside down V here, and then the crack here. The V here, I think, was the first part of the crack. Then I think this E started out, and then up from the R towards the S was the final part.
Yeah, because I don't see any of it there. I'll send you some of the
That's
pictures.
super.
you can take.
Yeah.
Wow.
Similar to what yours is?
Is that a 20? I'm sorry, we were just looking at the 25.
That was my
25.
25, yeah.
What?
On the, I have what looks like the beginning
So it
of
should be
it, right above the E.
E and the R, just
Yeah.
like an upside down V.
Actually, yeah. Well, I've got on the top of the E. There's a distinctive mark on the reverse of the 25 over the E anniversary. It's over the top, and it appears to be. Boy, I don't know enough about it to tell you what it is, but it's a little bit of a. Yeah, it's a mark of some sort. It's not this line, it's a mark.
Is it through the top of the E and the top of the R?
No, it's directly above it.
No, so there's nothing in the letter itself then.
No, sir. They're
Okay.
clean.
Another variation.
So there's another step between Scott's and mine.
How do you correct a die break on a die?
Good question.
I think you have to weld it and
Yeah,
resurface.
you re-weld them and resurface grind them or remachine them. My friend does it at his shop all the time. He runs roll mold out there and makes molds all the time. He finally had to hire his own welder because he was sending too many mistakes out from the apprentices. And he figured he might as well get a welder in shop to straighten them out.
Scott, is the area between your lettering, it looked almost flat compared to this one shows it shows a very stippled area like.
Yeah, these are not great pictures. I just took them with the camera on my phone, but it is. I mean, it's not very stippled. I'll try to get some better scans of this and send it to you. No, it's not. It doesn't look very stippled at all on here.
Boy, that was a little bit of a monkey wrench into it.
It does, doesn't it? They didn't restrike these at any point, did they?
Not
They
so much.
might have made a new die.
Either they made a new die or it broke later in the run.
Yeah, but Chip's right that this doesn't really have that stippling.
See my background with the
Yeah,
that's
I do.
very propagated crack on it, and you see all that stippling between the letters.
Yeah.
There's some of
Interesting.
it here, unless this is just a weak strike, although the rest of it doesn't look weak. So.
These, can I just say that the 26 that I have in my hand has that exact chip, your background right over your head. It's exactly the same. The die
Yeah.
break on the 26. The 27 is 1927 is clean.
Well, it's clean, but you can see that it's been worked on.
Yeah, it's been repaired. That's clear because the letters have been the
Restamped.
exactly. The height of the letters are, the lettering is completely different in the word anniversary.
The bar on the top of the E is a lot thicker and double struck. It looks like there's almost 2 layers to it.
Yep, exactly what I'm looking at. Excellent. That's cool.